Hello, good afternoon, and happy Thursday. No, Tuesday, the other day that starts with a T. Yeah, happy that day. Apparently, time is still weird for me, but so let's see. This morning we did the recording for the joins lesson, and now we're moving on to working with the assessment, right? We're on to the assessment. So what have we done here? So let's see. Last thing we did, we created the migrations. That's what it was. And I think we started creating the seeds project. I think that's what it would be. So we need to seeding the seeds. What do we have in here? Okay, we added an error. We added a sqlx. We added a Tokyo. We have the members, so all that's good. Do I want to do, okay, so we probably want to connect to our database and do all that stuff. And let's see, so we load the .env and then I guess we create the pool. Oh no, we load the environment variable. My tea is too hot to drink, so I can't actually start drinking my afternoon tea. And I have a supplement that helps too with thinking. So can't wait. Can't take that until my tea is cool enough. Yeah, words. Okay, so we have our pool. I guess we're pretty much ready for the library. And I think we'll just do everything in the library. I think that oh right, I want to actually create the seeds, uh, the queries, because we're gonna need that. I guess I could start in here. Okay, so we're pretty much ready. Now all I need is the actual SQL files to work on. So let's create those in maybe like some kind of seeds folder. This is gonna be outside of source. So we're gonna have authors, books, and book authors. Insert into authors. We have author ID, which is auto, so we pretty much just have a name. What do I want to do? What author should we have? I don't know if I want to take any like if we're gonna use real authors, I probably want somebody like actual like maybe older, like Jules Verne. That's that era. Author names from like 1800s. Okay, yeah. There's a few. There's a few famous authors in here. Okay, so we have Herman Melville wrote Typee and Umu. Uh, Aldous Huxley. Um, that's 1900s though. Also, hello, Metame. How are you doing today? As long as what did Aldous Huxley write? The number one thing is, what did Aldous Huxley warn us about? A lot of stuff. Brave New World. Oh, Brave New World. Okay, yeah, that's good. Here, we can throw that in there. Oh, he was born in 1894. Okay, so that works. So we'll say name Aldous Huxley. Let's get at least 3 authors. Then I want one where it's 2 people wrote the same book. But I don't know those off the top of my head. Were there any famous collaborations in the 1800s? Here's the top. Besides Aldous, here's the top 3 from Apparently, Google's generative AI. Okay, so those could be those three, and then okay, so now tell me. Okay, let me do another one. Um, books 1800s that had two authors. Okay, Goodreads popular 1800s books. Uh, they're they're all one author. I mean, I can't say it's that shocking. I don't think the multiple authors thing was until more recently, right? Um, yeah, collabs were very hard back then. That's true. Okay, so what are some what's like a uh textbook, or maybe we could just make somebody up. We can make we okay, here. Let's let's see. If we do Google no, what? No, don't go to Google. Is that Spanish Google? That Google. Okay. So if we do uh let's see. Give me a fake author name and the or give me two, okay, give me two fake authors names and um a single book they wrote together. Yeah, let's see. Oh, I was kind of hoping that would trigger Bard. Okay, fine. Um I guess we can go to what, ChatGPT? Oh, do I have to sign up for it? Okay, hold on. That would be neat. Oh, wait. We could just Google. Let me just Google for Bard. Bard. Google. Where are you? I've used it, but I used it once before, and I accidentally triggered it in a chat once before. Do I have to sign in? Oh, man, they're all making you sign in these days. Okay. How about what doesn't need us to sign in? Find. I don't think Find makes you sign in anymore, or yet. All the A want to dare. Yeah, they do. Okay. Give me two fake author names in a single book they wrote together. This can be a technical book. This is not an AI designed for this in any way whatsoever. But apparently it's working. Just want to. Okay. It would be hilarious if this book actually existed. Let me make sure I'm not logged in. Okay. There's a private browser window, but who knows? Um okay. It's trying to dox me, which is not cool. Mastering the Art of JavaScript, a comprehensive guide to becoming a top-tier developer. That's really close. That is really close. So it basically took the same name, and yeah, we'll just say sure, you're a fake person. So we have Alistair Thompson and Emily Sinclair. All right, so we're saying that these are our authors. Okay. So then if we go to our books, I think we also just have a name, right? All right, so books. What did... All right, Herman Melville wrote Typee. It's a fun word. Washington Irving wrote Rip Van Winkle. Let's see. Edgar Allan Poe wrote what was the Raven one? It was in a different book, right? What was that book's name? It was like in a series of poems. Yeah, Nevermore, but yeah, let's see. Edgar Allan Poe book. The complete works. Okay, well that's not helpful. List of books. Oh, it was just called The Raven and Other Poems. Okay, well that's easy. Okay, so those are those three, and then we had oh, I forgot. What was Atlas Huxbury Brave New World? And then finally this other book, which is Mastering the Art of Programming. Okay. So those are those books. Okay, yeah, you also found The Raven. Nice. Okay, so we have the books. Next up, Vampire, welcome back. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for the Prime subscription. How are you doing today? Let's see. Okay, I want to. All right. So last one, book authors. This is gonna be book ID, author ID. You're trying to conquer SharePoint direct data manipulation using VBA. That I don't think there was any part of that sentence that makes me feel good in any way. That sounds horrible. I'm sorry. Every time I like try to do something in that like Microsoft ecosystem where I'm like trying to use any of their systems to like manipulate stuff, it's like what? Like the best thing I haven't tried it, but like the new macros for Excel that allow you to write Python sounds like maybe it's a good thing if you trusted macros at all, which you can't because people just run viruses on your system using them. But it's a step in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. It is horrible. I'm sorry. All right. For these, we're gonna be doing our subqueries. So we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna select. So for the book ID, we're gonna select ID from books where the name is equal to and we're just gonna do these. Am I doing book? Yeah, we're doing books first. I just did the main system clipboard. There's no reason for that. And you know what we can do? We can horizontal split this. And then put these in here. Okay, so we have type E. So okay, that gives me so select ID from books where name equals type E. This should only give us one, and if it doesn't, then having an error is probably an appropriate thing, and it's not going to put anything in there because of our transaction. So this will be fine. So we have ID and then author ID. It's not ID though, is it? Book ID. Okay, what do I want to do with this? I want to go up here. Okay, can I 8 split one more time? Yes, okay. I was kind of hoping that it would split just the middle up here and not that one there. That's not exactly what I wanted, but it works. Okay, so type E was Herman Melville. Okay, let's put you up front like there. Let's keep these in the order. Ooh, I should have done that last. I don't know how to go two down. I guess we could figure that out. Name. Okay, so the name is gonna be the author for Brave New World. That is Aldous Huxley. And there we go. Okay, we have next up for the book, it's gonna be type E. Well, that's not exactly what I wanted. But it's like, okay, I want that. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay. Okay, can I maybe do two? Oh, that didn't go two down. That's too bad. Okay, now we have the two individuals. So the book ID is going to be the same one. Okay, that that should give us all of the books. Okay, including the two. Okay, so that this is one author has two books, and then I also want. Oh no, yeah, one book has two authors, and then I would also like one author with two books. So let's see, was there a list in here? Herman Melville also wrote Umu. Omu. It's also a fun name. Okay, So that should give us all of those. Oh wait, Herman Melville wrote he wrote Moby Dick. Well, that's absolutely true. It shows my knowledge. Okay, let's change that. Let's change typey Moby Dick. That's too good of a okay, I'll do that one because let's see, we're just keeping you, change you that. You happen to remember that one? I should remember that one, but I don't. Liberal arts degree for the win. Okay, so now we have a bunch of views, and that last thing would be to run these. So let's buffer close. Ooh, wait. Close split? Okay. Apparently that's how I can close the splits. We're gonna go into seeds lib. All right, so this is from, okay, so we're gonna go from queries. We'll start with books. New to Helix. So I don't use the splits that much in Helix. So but let's say I've been using it for several months now. For the most part, it's pretty good. I've been getting a lot more used to the navigation around, although sometimes you just see me just like, let me just go arrows. Um, so for the most part, I'm much more used to it. I still sometimes get like confused a little bit. I have to like drop into sort of like my second brain of thinking to like really make sure I hit the right keystrokes. But other than that, it's been great. Okay, so if I flat error. Okay, so we have the error, so probably want to log this out. So we're gonna do an eprint line. So error seeding books. And then do I just want to panic? I could just return error. If I just panic, I might as well just throw the error here, right? And change that to a good old panic. You like the REST support, but seems like they don't support Vim bindings out of the box. They changed enough stuff, and I think you have to go and like change a lot of the bindings to be more Vim like if you wanted to. It's like, yeah, you'd have to go and do that all yourself. You know, it wouldn't, because you do that in the config, it wouldn't be all that hard for somebody to do that and then just share out a config with Vim bindings. I'm guessing that either not enough people are doing it or something else is going on. Aaron Chevalorant, hello. How are you doing today? Does this course have a YouTube playlist for your previous topics, or it's some article series? If so, can you give relevant links? Yeah, so this is I've been building it live on stream. So I guess like the closest playlist would be my let me see if I can go find it too. The closest playlist would be my uncut live streams. So shareable link to that. So there's the uncut live streams. If you just go back until you start seeing the like talking about sqlx stuff, then that's the beginning sort of it. You have to sort of like muddle through them. The articles and then the like sort of the videos that are sort of like tightened down are going to be part of a course that's going to be paid. So I can't. Well, I guess like the if you want to, I don't really have like a full like a course yet set up in the LMS, so I can't really share that out yet. Stacking, hello. They do Vim bindings is just verb before action. Oh, so it's just backwards. I didn't even try. I just like was like we're gonna do what they suggest and go with that. Thank you, Metame. Have a good rest of your day. Anyways, Air Ranch, or however you want me to pronounce your name. Does that answer your question? If not, I can try to give you more links. But yeah, it's going to be a paid for course, and we're working on it. Right, we're working on building. So I first started building a course on Axum, and then I got to the point where I started building articles for sqlx, and I realized that that could be a course all on its own. So I started building, like basically, I continued building out, but now with the intent to deploy and sell a course on sqlx first, and then I'll continue working on Axum while that's going out there. Yeah, and I'm joking that free tier is essentially having to search through like the like those files. Like the paid tier will be, okay, once they're available, yeah, okay, we'll just skip all that stuff and go straight to the articles and like the videos without having to like go through the live stuff. Which we're on Twitch, we all know what live stuff really means. Okay. So we panic, air and seeds. Okay, so you're unhappy. Oh, because you need to be mutable. Okay, so you're happy. So if you're an error, we just print out what the error is, and we do that. Oh, oh no, we can't. We can't panic. We can't panic. I just want to let me go back to the eprint. We do the eprint line, and then we also say is success false? We are not successful anymore. Okay, got you. Next up is going to be authors. Hero Dev raiding with a party of 46. Welcome, 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 Hero Dev and Raiders. How's your stream? What are you working on today? Let's see. Did you make it through the ads? Maybe. Anyways, while we're waiting for that, what we're working on is I'm creating a course for sqlx in Rust. We've already done a bunch of articles and lessons about just like the basics. So connecting sqlx to a Postgres database, doing some basic queries, doing some more advanced many-to-many joins in sqlx, doing transactions and bulk type of queries, migrations and seeds, and what I think that was it. And then we're working on right now an assessment. So like at the very end of the course, you can go through this and say like, okay, did I learn anything? Or am I still sort of like, I don't know. So I'm currently working on the seeding part of the assessment. So we are running seeding running the seeding SQL file. Seems like there are a bunch of courses. Is YouTube playlist something that contains all the streams or a paid version available somewhere? Oh yeah, so I do have YouTube playlists on. Let's see, what are the courses that I've created? Let's see. I've got. I can give you links to them. So we've got. Oh, they're not in any good order. Okay, so starting out from most recent to oldest, we had the Axum course. So I actually did an Axum course, and so there is that. Where do you put the Zero to Prod book by Lucia Palmieri? Is this a sequel to it content wise? No. I haven't read the Zero to Prod book, so therefore this can't like it's not a sequel at all in any way, or even like related at all. So so that's the that's Axum. The next one is gonna be, let's see, before Axum I did U 0.19. We're at 0.21 now, and so therefore it's pretty out of date for U. There is that one. Then before you, we did a Digital Ocean. This was probably my least popular course that I did. And then the first one, which is a lot of fun. The Better Owen, hello. Howdy. How are you doing today? The first course that we did was improve Rust skills by making an ECS library. That one was fun. The normal work politics. That sounds fun. I'm doing well. I don't have work politics right now, so that's great. So yeah, no, it's good. I'm enjoying being able to hang out with you in the afternoons, as opposed to only in the mornings. Okay, so, anyways, if those hopefully those links help, Aaron. So those are the free courses that I have online, and then I basically took those as like, okay, that's like validation that there's something I have here that's like useful. Let me like next one we're gonna do is paid. And I'm still gonna be putting out, like, obviously I'm putting out stuff still in YouTube. That's not gonna end. All right, I want to do, okay, so we had authors and books. Next up, it's gonna be book authors. Okay, so you're happy. Maybe it's just gonna work. Thanks, Vampire. Yeah, my favorite part about that playlist that I was kind of like hoping that people would be like, "Oh man, this is cool. I didn't realize, how easy this was to do." Would be put on two-factor authentication for SSHing into the droplet. But nobody ever like, I don't think, comments on that one. See a stream on Reddit's connection. I guess not sure if you have a good solution on deserializing Reddit data into normal restructs. I mean, generally just Serde. Um, yeah, just like the normal deserialization method. So I don't really have anything for like super speed. But then again, like my foray into ECS is the closest that I've come to like doing something trying to be like fast. But even then, I'm not really trying to be that fast. So yeah, I dealt with it the normal way, slowly or normal speedly. Is that a word? Okay, so if I go into seeds here, I should be able to run this. And let's see if the seeds are our database. I think it did. No, it did not. It did not. Um, you know what I forgot to do? And this warning is telling me exactly what I forgot to do. I forgot to call the run function in the library that would actually do the thing. Kind of important. The problem with me is that I'd rather reinvent the wheel rather than utilize existing services with Amazon or Azure. Much more fun. I agree. I agree that it's much more fun. I um I also agree that it's much less efficient time wise, and as the more senior we get, the more expensive we get for a company to utilize us, and so therefore we're less and less often going to be able to be paid to like just do something like, just go re-implement Salesforce. It'll be fine. There we go. We have our authors. We have our books. And we have our book authors. Oh, your issue wasn't speed. Your issue was deserialization failing since the Redis hash sheet data is typeless and it works via the from Redis value trait. You tried to create which seemed to import it for you via macro, but it didn't work. What did we do? We used the Redis. We used the Redis crate, or rather, we used the BB8 Redis crate, which is the same thing as the Redis crate. It's re-exported, and I think. Oh, you know what it was? I didn't store. Okay, so I didn't get far enough into it before we did sqlx. I didn't get far enough into it to do types, to do complex types. We just stored a string. We just stored a string. Yeah, we just used Redis strings. That's what it was. So that's how we avoided the problem. We just it just didn't do anything that could cause a problem. Oh, you do this outside work. You'd be jail if work data would be there. Um, there. Well, I mean, Amazon does have like I don't know if you work in like what level of security you work in, but I do remember when I was working in government, Amazon approached us and told us like, "Hey, we have a government thing. You want us to use government? Like, can you put stuff on our systems?" And we had a variety of reasons why we it wouldn't work out, but the biggest ones were like, okay, you need a government thing, which they now have. They supposedly have certified for government use, but that might be U.S. government only. I don't know. Um, and I don't remember what their rules are for secret or top secret, but I've never worked with top secret data, so I would never had to really worry about that. A big U.S. bank, yeah. Banks, especially in U.S., are pretty stringent about their rules. Uh, so yeah. Also, they seem, and maybe you can or maybe you can't. They seem like they're not big on like adopting modern stuff super fast. Maybe, possibly. That might just be their design. Maybe they just don't they adopt design stuff very fast. Bulfer's dad, good evening. How are you doing today? You call them dinosaurs. Uh, there's I felt that way about my some of my work situations too. Okay, so we have course articles. Where am I? What am I doing? I probably want. Oh, okay. So we want in two writing. Okay, what do we do here? So we got our data. Oh, we should give them the data too. So this will be okay. Then data. Okay, so then um uh then seeding um seed the previous tables with um the following data. We recommend that you just write the professor asked you to review some of his C code, and honestly, it's very messy and very overcomplicated. There's a program to decode base64, rewriting it for them. Is that like part of a assignment, or it's more of like, hey, I wrote this and I want it to be good. You know what you're doing. Can you help me with that? Is it which one of those is it? No, they just know I'm a C guy, so they approach you about it. Okay, well, then that's nice. It's good. It's good to be known for some, to known for quality stuff. See the previous tables of the following data. We recommend that you just write. We recommend that you just write the SQL queries by hand. Please don't try to write a parser to extract the CSV data into SQL statements. So we ran an assessment when I was teaching, very like not exactly like this, but close enough. And we had a lot more data than just like this amount, and so we threw it into CSV files, and we gave it to the students and said, okay, take this data, create SQL statements, and seed your database. So we wanted to see migrations, we wanted to see seeds, we want to see all this stuff. And I would say like 99 out of 100 students would attempt to write a script or like a program to pull out the CSV and then turn it into like SQL statements. And it's like, so we gave them 2 days to complete this this assignment, this sort of test, as it were. And I don't know, I think it was a combination of like giving them 2 days to do work on this, and then also them being a core halfway through or so the course, and they just thinking that they know all this stuff. They're so good at this now. They know how to program and do this stuff, and so they jump in, and like, of course, CSV is like writing a parser for something. If you've never done anything like that before, it's gonna kick your butt. And then it does. And then they get all like upset at us after 1 day. It's like, well, how far along are you? It's like, well, I still haven't got a database running. It's like, stop it. The instructions literally say, do not parse this by hand. It's in this format so that you can parse it yourself. Okay, so how do I want to display this? I think SQL makes sense. And perhaps we could dump the database. So we could copy out. So I could do a query of everything and then copy that out, right? I could even, can I copy it to a table? It's been a while since I've used copy. Has it? It's been like a week since we used copy. And I used it for like one time. Copy postgres. So I can do copy it from a table. And I think it puts it in CSV format for me. And so all I have to do is give it so copy table name from, can I do joins? This is not saying I can do join, so I don't think I can like copy everything all over that. But okay, what I can do is I can say copy table name to, and I could do a file name. Okay, so copy table name. So we could just do books to books dot CSV. That needs to be a string. Relative. Oh, I have to give it like a full path. Oh, that sucks. Can I do something like? I doubt I could do something like that. Yeah, it doesn't know what that is. Could not open file. For writing. Copy to instructs the Postgres server process to write a file. You may want a client-side facility such as PSQL's. Oh, there's a different copy? Perform a SQL copy with data stream to the client host. Wait, is that exactly the same? So copy. Isn't CSV just a split on new line and then a per field delimiter? Yes, it is. So the problem isn't that it's hard to do necessarily. It's just that if you're a student with 3 or less months of experience in programming at all, and you've been doing web type stuff, and you've never done any kind of parsing of anything before, then going through and like generating dynamically how like all this stuff and how it works is that would take you the 2 days to do on its own. And that wasn't what we were trying to assess. We were trying to assess, can you create a full web application with a database connection with many to many joins and all that stuff. And it's kind of funny. We taught them all connects, which is not much, doesn't give you much more than sqlx here does. Just a little bit more maybe in JavaScript land. And I would say we only had one student who was looking at this and going like, this seems hard. And then they went Google searching instead of like just saying, how do I do it in connects? They just searched for like, what's an easier way to do this problem? They found Bookshelf and ORM, implemented that, and we're done on the first day. and it's like, okay, that's really good. I'm glad you figured that out. Also, we'd like you to show us that we can do some of the algorithms and other stuff, please. That's true. If you allow strings in there with embedded commas and escapes, luckily this is all my stuff, so therefore it's we don't have to worry about it. The lazy person will find the simplest solution. That's true. Most that was a big thing in the course, is teaching people, hey, this is how the mindset of like a software developer works. Like this is an engineering mindset. You have to like think of experiments, think of ways to solve them, go through and try the experiment out. We'll see that. Student these days will use ChatGPT. Hey, I use ChatGPT rather than Google these days. I've used ChatGPT a few times. I use Find a little bit more, but I think it's mostly because I don't have to log in as much. But yeah, it's getting really good too. You hate ChatGPT. How about this? Is there a specific thing you hate about it? Because then if it's specific, it might not be a hot take. Um, because like there's a lot about ChatGPT that's not great, but there's also a lot that works really well and works as advertised. Ooh, wait, did that work? I think that worked. Where was I? Oh, I bet I'm in the other place, aren't I? I don't see any CSV files. Where did it put it? Okay. Oh no, it put it in the Docker container. It put it in the Docker container. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. So I could create a volume and then put it in there. That would work. Let's see. So I'm in the bookstore assessment. Sure, let's drop it in. I'll drop it in the other thing. Let's see. I missed something. I missed a bunch. I think it's the wrong tool for programming. I agree. The problem I have with most generative language models for education is people are trying to use it as like, hey, teach me this thing. But if you're at a certain level of in like whatever you're looking at, it's going to be fine. So if you know some programming, then you can use it to teach you programming because you'll know and be able to handle when it bullshits you. But if you're super new to programming, then you won't know and you'll think that you're stupid when you can't do the stuff that it's teaching you. It's basically becomes the worst possible teacher because it's all confidence with no like, hey, this is now up to you to figure out. Um, like I could potentially get away with doing the same thing that it does and give you bad data as part of like a lesson. But if I use correct body language, you could figure that out by saying like, "Oh, hey, I've totally written this algorithm perfectly. First try last night when I was drinking heavily. So, I know it's perfect, but you're gonna run it, and if you have trouble running it, I would love to see how you fix it. Like that could be a lesson right there. That could be a something to work on. But if it's ChatGPT, it says, "Here's this thing. It actually works," and then it just stares at you. What is the alternative you use? Find a PHIND. It's really good. Dodie, you're one of those. I don't use it, but I hate it. Which really is the worst. The ignorant, uninformed, negative opinion. It is getting better all the time. Use it for when you want help doing something text based. So, like if you want to rewrite a title to something, if you want to rewrite or if you want it to like take your paragraph or like summarize something, it's really good at that. Vampire, you're one of those old fashioned dudes that can either read 30 minutes about a function or spend 30 seconds looking at source code to know what is going on. Yeah, I know what that's like too. In Rust, sometimes it's both. Bulfers Dad, best part is you get 10 GPT-4 queries per day for free. Yes. Oh, wait, is that true now? I need to look into that because I signed in to I sign into it and like the little thing for GPT-4 is blocked out with a little lock next to it. And it says, hey, you need to pay us to get access to Chat GPT-4. So I'm still on 3.5. I don't know why. I signed up for the API like a year and a half ago and they never got back to me. I did it twice and they just basically said you're on a wait list. Hey, if Terry Davis can write Holy See and Temple Eyes, I could write an algorithm when drunk. Yeah, of course. And then that's what the junior dev's job is, to come in and help out the drunk senior dev and make it work. Vampire, you work 3 hours with ChatGPT to write an MSX program. Very old home computer. I am not familiar with MSX, and it was an exercise in patience. But in the end, you got something that worked. But my God, it was a pain. Yeah, I think like to me, most of what I'm seeing ChatGPT, I think would be like really good for is doing fun things with it. Like, hey, make me Pong, but also like do these other things, or like just try to get it to do stuff that it's not supposed to do. That seems a lot more fun to me than try to actually do it for like use it for what it's supposed to be used for. You had to tell the thing step by step what to do. Yeah, I remember when we tried to use Copilot for a while with Rust, and it was like very much do this thing. Okay, let me fix all your little syntax errors, and try it again. ChatGPT is also pretty good at understanding vague and unrefined requests. Like I saw someone editing, clarifying their ChatGPT prompt, and it was like, literally hit enter, it will understand, and it does. Also, hello, Supercuber. Yeah, it's so like as long as you're talking about like text generation, or the way I think about it is like, let's step back. Like what makes us as software engineers usually like really good at Google searches? Because we can think about what the search is really doing behind the scenes. Like there's a lot of blog posts and articles and documentation. They're all indexed by the search engine. So we're looking for keywords. So when we search, we don't search for I want to know how to get access to a form in a web browser's input field. You just say like, okay, I want form input web JS. Like you're just searching for the keywords, right? Different type of searching, but same idea now. Okay, we have a system that's based upon all those same things, blog articles, videos, basically every page that's been out there. And it has keywords and other stuff that it's probably looking for behind the scenes to sort of figure out what it wants to generate. And then all that's left is now to say like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Now, in this case, you probably can say, I am looking for, but then you have to give it like the right context to figure out what to do. And instead of, unlike a Google search, instead of giving you, here's a list of things we found, you go look through them, it's like, okay, I'm going to take from all these things that I've memorized and try to give it to you from memory. So you do get a little bit of interesting because it's like basically taking that content and it's almost like it's almost like, oh, what would I want to say? It's almost like someone who is like got a photographic memory, who's memorized the entire encyclopedia, but they're attempting, maybe it's not photographic memory. They have a really good memory. They're attempting to recall like anything like you ask them. It's like, hey, what about this thing? And say, okay, I remember I read that like 4 years ago. Here's what I remember about it. Here's what I understand about that. They don't understand. It just doesn't like have any knowledge about it. It's just giving you like, okay, well, based upon that stuff, this makes sense, and this seems to be right. But I'll do that in an incredibly confident style. I asked ChatGPT if they knew who my name is, and once I told the model what it was related to, it generated a list that was almost like it was written by a fanboy. It was fun to read, but pretty weird to read vague things like rewards I earned. It has not found me, or rather, it doesn't know who I am and what I prompted for like my YouTube channel, and then told them that like, oh, I do various stuff. It said like, oh yeah, I've done lots of tutorials on Minecraft. It's like, okay, yeah, that's not exactly right. You asked it about a repo I created and told you I was a contributor and named someone random as the original creator. When I pointed out that my username was a GitHub URL, it said it was a fork. Very rude. Yeah, that's the sort of like thing that I mean by like you have to treat it like somebody who's memorized stuff but doesn't understand it. Uh I guess another way to put this, there was oh geez, there was an experiment a long time ago, which I forget what it's called, and maybe I can find it quickly. But the idea was if you taught somebody to read but not understand what the words were, but they could read the words, then you can watch somebody read a book perfectly but have no understanding of what they are reading. But most of it's really hard to search for this. Most of them are how to understand better. So unfortunately, I don't have any. I don't have any. I don't have any like a source on this. So I'm just as bad as ChatGPT on this one. Oh, Chinese room. That might have been it. That might. Let's take a look. Was it? Let's see. Oh no, it wasn't this. Wasn't this one? This is a philosophical sort of like thought experiment about like, hey, does if a computer can like an AI can talk Chinese, if it can speak Chinese, uh does it mean that it understands Chinese? If but it puts things together. The thing that I was thinking about is something different. Uh not exactly the same as this. The idea was that it was the experiment, I believe. I think it was an experiment. It might have been just like an example to give to like philosophy or anthropology students. I don't remember. The idea was you take like a child and you teach them how to read these words and pronounce the words, and then you give them a very like tough textbook, so something that they can read but the words have no meaning. Have like they haven't mapped a meaning to those words at all, so they're reading through this book, and you can watch this person read perfectly from this book, And if you were to ask them later on about anything in the book at all, they could not tell you at all. They could repeat words or phrases from it because they've memorized that, but they have no contextual knowledge or understanding of what happened inside of it. That's where we are right now with generative AI. It doesn't understand, but it's very good at just giving you a bunch of stuff that sounds good. And we are not very good at telling the difference between understanding and the ability to just say something that sounds really good. I'm gonna have to do this as part of okay, so we have to stop this. Let's see. Name is a well-known figure in the MSX scene, especially among enthusiasts of the MSX computer platform. He is a Dutch MSX enthusiast who has contributed to the community in various ways. His most notable work is probably his involvement with the Open MSX emulator project. Is it true though? Yep, a lot of the ability to use LLMs effectively right now comes from understanding their limitations. Yes, absolutely. And like someday, LLMs are going to get so good that they, even if they don't understand ever, they're going to be giving correct responses. And then our jobs will slowly shift and it will change. And eventually we'll be, we'll be teaching people how to properly write queries and other stuff. And that'll be like the new developer roles is, AI wranglers. Okay, so yeah, that's cool. All right. Okay, so I stopped you. So let's do a Docker remove for our Postgres dev. Let's do a Docker run for this. And then I'm going to, let's see. Okay, so here's the port. Let's do this. Let's give it a volume for, let's see, where am I? I'm in, let's give it our current working directory seeds. So let's give it that seeds directory. And then we'll send it into like, I don't know, seeds. Okay, so if you're running now, you should now be able to do in a Docker exec, jump in there. You don't have any relations, so we have to rerun all of you. Oh, I didn't. Okay, fine. Oh, no. We have to run the migrations first. So we run you first. Then we can do cargo run project. Is it project seeds? It's not project. It's program. It's something. Um, it's not target. It's not profile. ChatGPT has nothing to say about supercomputer. It forgot about me. How tragic. Don't worry, within a few years, all of the AIs will know an uncomfortable amount about you. Package. Wait, no, it is. Wait, oh, did I use? What did I use? I used project. It's package. Okay, so that it ran there. So now, okay, so we have all these. When did blah last visit a doctor and why? It's oh man, it's gonna be bad because you're gonna get like AIs that are just gonna like make stuff up, and it's gonna be like, well, this person didn't show up to work because they're on a drug spree, and it's like, well, actually they're not, but the AI didn't know that, and so it just, you know, said it. Where do you think blah will be tomorrow at 1300? Show your work. Um, so what I'm expecting, and this is probably going to be a it's probably going to end up with a people who have more money will end up getting better of these and like do better because of it. We're probably all going to have assistant AIs, unless you can't afford one. Then it's just going to widen the gap even more. But basically, we're going to have, especially if we're software developers, we're probably going to either be assigned and given like a company built one, or there's going to be like an entire hobbyist thing about build your own assistant AIs, and it might be a LM, it might be like a combination of different things. We'll probably customize the heck out of it, and it'll be things like, okay, like we that's probably where a lot of like us working is going to be in, is like, okay, help customize these, help people build them, help make it so that everybody can have one, even if it's not like some cool little robot that like moves around with you. Like I'm sure some people will have like, I put mine inside of a cat robot body. It'll be just something like, okay, well, I have like a little watch, and it tells, I can use it to control everything about my life. Some professor put parts of work from students in ChatGPT and asked if ChatGPT wrote it. It said yes on most of it. And yeah, yeah, I remember there was there's several companies that are now building products that are, whose job is to say like, hey, are you generative? And I know that some instructors experimented, the smart ones experimented by putting their own work, like they wrote an essay that they knew was not copied, and they threw it in there and it was like, yep, it was. And you're like, well, this is a piece of shit technology. um so I think there's a lot. I think that we have not passed the hype gasm yet. Hype gasm, the hype chasm yet. And we're probably pretty soon gonna drop into the trough of despair. And then things will come back out, and AI, like when it comes back out, the AI machine learning stuff is gonna be insanely good. Okay, I want to now use this copy command. So I want to copy from books 2 slash seeds slash books.csv. Okay, so copy 6. Now, if I come back here, go to seeds, take a look at that, books.csv. So I don't have a Helix open anymore. Let's go ahead and open you up. I mean, yeah, that works. It used tabs. That's not what I want. Okay. How do what's it called? The delimiter. Delimiter is comma. Can I do that? Copy books to standard out. Delimiter, comma. Here, we're talking about a lot of AI stuff. Let's use find for this. This will be fun. Including pair programming mode is quite fun. So let's see. I have a Postgres database. I want to copy the contents of the file to CSV files. I want to copy the file. I want a copy of all the tables to a CSV file. How do I do this? Sure, I just ask a human question. Yeah, I estimate we're at the peak of the hype right now, unless there's some new major breakthrough. And that's what it is like every hype cycle, there's always like it follows the same pattern. We have like a big hype up, and then it hits its peak, and then you have a big fall that goes below the lowest hype at the very beginning. That's called a trough of despair. And then it comes back up, levels out, and it doesn't rise quite as much as the hype before. It's just sort of like a slow rise, a steady, but it's like sustainable and normal now at this point. And then that's where like it's sustainable. And of course, every time there's some like major breakthrough in anything, it doesn't matter what, it follows that same cycle. And sometimes it's really big, sometimes it's really small. But you can just see it over and over and over again. Okay, so let's see. It's suggesting use a query. Okay. Okay, so you're creating a function to export tables. So declare record begin for RN. Oh, this will do it for all of them. Okay. I don't know if that would this work? I kind of just want to use copy. Okay, so that's copy to standard out. Okay, how about, okay, fine. I want to use the /copy command with PSQL. Why Borealis? Hello, how are you doing today? Am I teaching SQL or creating a course that you are using SQL? The latter. So we're teaching sqlx, which allows you to use SQL to connect to a database and then like run that SQL in it from Rust. Although like I wouldn't, I think it could be fun to do oh, it's this with delimiter. That's what I wanted. Okay. This is we could do one on a course on SQL. I think that would be fun, and I think like SQL is a super important thing to learn. So with CSV delimiter, there we go. Now we have that. Do I have to give it titles? Okay, how do I give it a title? Oh, interesting. I wonder if I did that, it would be better. Okay, let's try this again. That did not change anything. You just end a free Excel course and now just trying to get into SQL, but you're really lost. What do you have right now? Like, do you have access to a database? Like, Postgres is probably the most popular free SQL database. That might not be true. MySQL might be the most popular free SQL database, but I prefer Postgres. There's SQLite, but I think like it doesn't have all the features in it, so that might be tough to like start on. Ooh, there's a resource we found the other day. This could be helpful. SQL Zoo. Oh no. Okay, you were learning commands in SQL Bolt. I haven't heard of SQL Bolt. Thank you, Supercuber. Hey, he's pronouncing SQL as SQL instead of SQL because he's old. Don't let that confuse you. Hey, you know what? How how is SQL pronounced? This is an important technical question, so a technical compiler should work. SQL is pronounced as SQL or sometimes as SQL. Both pronunciations are widely accepted and used interchangeably in the tech community. Okay, fine. I'm in a minority now. But yeah, see, okay, so you saw the SQL Zoo. The cool thing about SQL Zoo is that besides the fact that it's a 404 not found. Okay, the cool thing about SQL Zoo, it feels like it takes longer to say that. That's the reason why I like SQL. Is it gives you these examples here and then lets you actually run them. So it's like, okay, you know, the explanations aren't the best, but actually running through them is really good and being able to play around with it. So this is probably a great way of exploring it without having to worry about installing a database or having access to one. So I really like it a lot. And you don't have to sign in. That's even better. Okay, let's do the same thing. Oh, wait. So did that work? I was really hoping that would I was hoping that'd give me headers. Okay, so can I do with headers? Okay, so that's the next thing. I can reply to this one. Great. Now I want to add headers to the CSV file. Wait, does it include that? No, there's no headers in here. Okay. With the option, is that something that we can do? No, I'm not in Vim. There we go. Okay. That gives us this. Now we can run the exact same thing. So select okay, so I don't need this. We can just do authors next and then book authors. So oh no, I've been overwriting. I've been overwriting the same one. I forgot. Okay. Okay, hold on. Want to do copy books to books. Hey, go back. Okay, so this is going to be authors next. Oh man, my control A stopped working. What did I do? Book authors. Okay, that now I should be able to do all the things. So CSV. Okay, so we have authors and book authors. Perfect. I don't care if they use the IDs. I think that's fine. It just means they can only run the seeds once, and then you're done with it essentially. Okay, so we have that done. Let's I probably want to throw that in its own directory somewhere. Let's see. So I could put that under seeds. Yeah, let's leave these under seeds. I'll just leave them in there. And then you can init a program to sort of do that for you from there. Okay. So seeds, you can find the the data to import data to seed at I need to upload this so we can see it. So let's do that quickly. Again, not in Helix. Okay, we seeded. All right, so there we go with that. So okay, we found the data to seed. We've created the seeds. That's the basics of it. Next up, we want to write the queries. If we know what those seeds are, then it should be fairly well. I guess that then it's going to be automated test time. So let's figure out how that's going to work. Vivax, hello, hey, how you doing today? All right, so that's under seeds. We have source library. Doing good, working on a new website. Nice. Working on new stuff is always nice. Like a fresh new page. No technical debt yet. You have all the dreams about what it's gonna be like. Okay, so what do I want this to be? I want probably basic CRUD. So that's okay. So in live.rs, we want probably I want CRUD, like basic CRUD. I want insert multiple bulk insert. And then a join get, something like that. I wonder if I should create these with, can I start a file with a number? Let's find out. I don't think I can, but maybe. So if I start a file and if I say if I go like touch one dot like one read. You can name a file anything if you try hard enough. The OS might not like it though. I mean, okay, you're right about that. And in that case, the OS is going to be fine with this. Is Rust going to be happy with me trying to like use this? Okay, you bought a new domain, you stopped the renewal in the old one, and decided you should make a page for the root domain. Nice. You can create file names on Linux that Windows doesn't like, so the files won't show up on Windows. That's true. That's very true. When you had said that though, in my mind, I went to one of my Linux courses I took, uh, way back in the old days. Uh, the the person who taught us about evil file names that you could create. So like there's ways to create a file dot in a directory, and that's like a common file name you might create if you're like hacking into a system, because at a cursory glance everything with an ls looks fine. It's okay, right? Because like there's supposed to be a dot and a dot in there, but then you go and look at it and it's like, ooh, actually wait a second, that's not a directory, that's a file. And then you go in there, it's like all your stuff that you've been storing to help hack into stuff is in there. That's where my mind was going with like evil files. Eval can also be evil too. We used to teach students don't use eval. And then we gave them, so we taught them, we gave them a lesson, never use eval. We showed how bad it could be and like the injection attacks that you can get, and then gave them an assessment in which eval was the easiest way to solve it, and then yelled at them when they used eval. That was one of my favorite things to do. And yeah, yeah, we were evil. Um, what's better than one top level? How about two? Eval is totally fine in some contexts. In some, I'm used to web development, so if you have an eval on the front end, it's really dangerous. Because if you can get any, like if there's any path to user code getting into that eval, it could be really bad. It's like a SQL injection attack, but for your JavaScript code. Let's try this. If I do that, yeah, running on untrusted input, hell no. And that's the problem about so the exercise was a calculator. So we wanted students to like be able to write a calculator with a form and do stuff. And eval is super super easy in a calculator way. And it's like no, don't, nope, you're not allowed to do that. And what we were having them do was not write a calculator as in here's like have like a little number pad calculator and you do the buttons. We were making them write a calculator as in here's a single input bar, write in like number plus number equals, and then you hit go and it will like give you the result. So they had to parse through it and like sort of grab it one at a time. And that is in that one is like there's someone, so many students who go like, hey, I searched online, I can just take that entire statement in the input and just throw it into an eval and it just works. And I was like, yeah, it does work. Also try putting an alert in there, tell me what happens. It's like, well, that put an alert on my screen. Yep. That doesn't, no alarm. Oh, right. You don't have any context. You don't know how bad what that means. And then we had to teach them again. Hey, look, this means bad things, really, really bad things. You also see people yell about eval on local scripts. Like if somebody could give inputs on a script, you'd have much bigger concerns. Yeah, if it's something that you absolutely trust, the problem is that I run into when I'm thinking about eval is like, do I trust the future people to like not just hand it random stuff to start doing stuff? But they might, bad things could happen. Front end runs on the user machine. Who cares if they hack themselves? I mean, yeah, sure. I think we have to care though. I don't think it likes it. So it was one underscore read. So one read. Oh, look at that. File not found for module read. It's completely ignoring the one. Oh. Don't get me wrong. I keep away from it like the plague, but it isn't an eval is always bad situation. Okay. I agree with you on that one. I keep it away from it as well, but also you're right. It's not always bad. Um, Generally speaking, if you're a junior developer and you don't have a really good solid understanding of why eval in certain ways, just avoid it. Like don't worry about it, just avoid it. Later on, you can learn about this and it'll be good. Okay, so I can't mod with a file name. Here, let's see if find can help us. I don't think there's a solution to this, but maybe there's something. This is one of the things with Rust is pretty rough. Is there discoverability? Oh, I have to do like a new one, or I have to sign in. New one. I want I'm using Rust. I want to mod in a file with a number at the beginning, like one read.rs. Is this possible? Let's see what it says. What's the chance that this is right? Oh, it must start with a letter or an underscore. So I can start with an underscore. To overcome this limitation, you create a module with a valid name and use the path attribute to link it to the file. Oh, okay. That's the thing. Find is one of the generative LLM AIs that you can use, except it's it's really focused on programming. So it also shows its sources. You can see here it grabbed information from alasso.github.io, a specific blog article, and it sort of like summarized what it found there for my question. I really like that about this. It then also has the ability to like run this on Replit. It is free. You can get 10 queries on ChatGPT 4 per day and more with ChatGPT 3. And then it gets expensive if you need to pay for it. But yeah, it's like we're not even logged in right now, and they're letting us do at least several queries. So here, this is what I can do. So here we do mod read, and then what is it? File. Oh, path. Path equals one read.rs. There we go. That's how it works. Borealis, I don't think King has a job to give you. Just get ChatGPT, just get GPT-4 with plugins for free. Wait, how do you get the plugins for free? I thought you had to pay for that. I haven't really looked seriously. If you buy Plus and get into the developer program, you keep access to plugins when really okay. So you buy once and then end your subscription, and they basically forget to stop your access. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so this works. We can use one free. So we could basically say like, okay, go into read one. So we go into source one read. And so what I'm thinking about doing is using the numbers for this to say, okay, we want to do these systems. So it would be, oh, you only get the plugins model, so none of the other fun plugins stuff though. Okay, so you lose a lot of goodness from it, but you still get plugins. That's nice. Okay, so in here we're doing like the super basic CRUD. So let's rename this. So basic CRUD, and then we're gonna have two, which is gonna be, so we have basic CRUD. We're going to do transactions maybe. Then three, we're gonna do behind me. That's hard to read. So CRUD transactions. Oh, that would be bulk essentially. So do bulk inserts. We do three. After bulk inserts, we want to do this. So that's transactions. Then we probably want just like basic joins. So like basic joins. .rs. And then for many to many, or maybe complex joins. Complex joins. .rs. What else? What else would we care about for this? So complex joins, and then I think we're done, right? Like if you've done that, you're good to go. Oh, I wish this would like tell me what this was. That'd be great. Two is bulk inserts. No? Oh, I have to have the RS in there too. Uh, three. Let's see. After bulk inserts, then so that was transactions. Then we had joins. Then complex joins. Question, why am I doing this? What I'm trying to do, or the plan, what I'm going to do is have different files with little assessments and automated tests inside of them. And so the idea is like, okay, we're going to start slow and then move into more complex stuff. So it's like, okay, go do basic CRUD first. And if you can do basic CRUD, then move on to two bulk inserts. Now do a bulk insert. And then go into joins, then go to complex joins. Once you've done them all, the assessment's done, you pass. Congratulations. You know sqlx. So we're going to fill out inside of these files. We're going to actually do like automated. I guess it's not automated. We're going to do tested query functions. Let's see, complex joins. Was that it? Was there a fifth one? There is not a fifth one. That was it. Okay, so we're gonna go to CRUD. So if we have what do we need in CRUD? We need create, read, update, delete, and we can do that for authors and books. So we could just choose one. It doesn't really matter. So how do I want to do this one? Oh, to do async, we need to pull in async stuff. I also need, okay, so cargo add sqlx. I think that's everything we need. Okay, so we have our connection. Oh, this is in seeds. Oh, yeah, we're in lib. Okay, so we'll just do that all here then. Let's see. I should probably run the tests and have them run. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Is like, okay, do I want to pull them out and do all the tests inside of here, or in each of the modules? If I put them into here and I run the query, does that work? Can I run a test just for those? How do I want to organize this? So okay, so I can come into CRUD and we can have a config test. We can have a private mod tests, and inside of here, run tests for the CRUD mods. So we can. So out here, we can have something like pub, async function, pub async function. We can have something like insert into books. Do I hand them? Do I hand it the pool? This is the first question. Like, do I hand it the pool? Do I hand it the pool, and do I hand it like what the book is? I think so, right? So pool books. Let's see. So then we have the book to insert. Yeah, so I have to think about the organization of this assessment. I was thinking library initially. but now I'm not 100% sure. Now I'm wondering if I want to, like, I could keep it library and I can change it to be books, authors, book authors. And then you could just sort of go wherever you want. That might be better. That might be a lot better. Do I need, and then, okay, the main library would be to create the connection. Okay, so that's, delete those. So if we start with a connection, so pub async function connect. Nope, wrong. Okay. Oh, I already have this. Okay, so dot. Okay, it's just always, yeah, this doesn't care. So I could just do that too. So do .env. Okay. I want, okay, so we load that. We get the database URL. Does this get me at runtime or is this at, oh, we could use that. Okay, so this could be a function for this. Now I could have our tests for connect to make sure that this gives us a connection. Is there a way for me to like actually tell that this like actually gives us a connection? Like what could I do with the pool? I suppose bigger question, do I put the tests here or do I put the tests in the test folder and I do this as an integrated test? Or just runs all the things and we get what we expect out of them. I think integrated tests might be better. So if I do something like this, tests go out here. I want this to be, we're going to test. I wonder if I like assessment that test dot rs. Okay, so here I want to be able to call that connect function we created in the main library, which this entire thing is called sqlx bookstore assessment. And there's the connect function in there. I guess that works. So if I do that, now do I want to hard code the type in here? Now, if I hard code the type, it'll have an error until it's done. Is there something I can do with a pool? I mean, obviously I can use the pool to like connect in and make sure that everything is working. Maybe that's something we can do. We could just do a quick test. So yeah, that works. So I won't hard code this. We'll then say, after we get a pull, we'll do a result equals, we're going to do a sqlx query. We want to do a select like 5. Fetch 1, pass the pool, await. I'm fetching 1, that should give me the 5, right? You don't know what you are. We could, then we can check to see, so assert equal, the result is equal to 5. At the very least, we should get something out of here to sort of like see what it is. So if I do cargo test, invalid character. Oh, I can't do dot test. Okay. So put that as assessment without the test. Oh, can't. Okay. Okay, what are you upset about? Column is invalid. Does that have to be like a string literal? How do I can I do like SQL like that? And do select like 5. question mark column question mark is invalid. Oh yeah, so it doesn't know what to do with that. How do I? Oh, they were doing something. The sqlx to quick start did something like this. What did they do? Oh, it was select $1. And they just put that in there. Okay. I don't really get how that's different. And then they said, okay, select $1, we fetch, we get the row, and they want row, row dot 0. Something like that. Oh, this was query as. Maybe they use query as. I want a, can I give a type like this here? Or do I have to define it somewhere else and give it, then to give a path to the type? So this would be a like I32. Oh, doesn't like it. Okay, what if I just give you that? Column name column is invalid. How did you do this? Oh, is it because you use query as opposed to query as bang? Okay, fine. I'll do a real thing. So let's do query select ID from okay, select name from books where name is equal to, so we'll choose one of the books, which we have one of the books in the SQL. We'll choose Moby Dick. It's a classic one. Okay, so where name equals Moby Dick. Semicolon U, don't hand you any data. That gives us a record back. So then we should expect, okay, assert equal. This will be result dot name is Moby Dick. Moby Dick. Moby Dick. There we go. That should work. That's what I thought I could do too, but it was telling me I couldn't because of this question mark column. Did something update? Oh, we have the new version of Rust. I wonder if something updated. But yeah, that is simple. That is weird, isn't it? Okay, so if I do that, now run to you, and we do a cargo test, and then that works. And so the assessment here would be, okay, you come in to lib as the first stop, and I might have like an example, like I might have an explanation up here for like, okay, connect. Okay, so like write the connection function, or like complete this connection function. So complete this function so that it returns the it connects to a pool, to a postgres instance, and returns the pool. So basically that's the instructions for this. And then if you don't do this, so if we had commented all this out and there was a to-do in here, then it would compile. But when we go to run this with a cargo test, it fails because it panics. So this will be the idea, that we'll have a bunch of these in here, and they'll be set as to-dos. I'll have a branch with the solution in it, so you can go and reference that if you get stuck, and then you just sort of figure it out and learn how you just like practice it. You're practicing your sqlx, which is gonna happen starting tomorrow morning because it's 5 o'clock. Time flew today. I guess like talking a lot about LLMs is a time crunch, is a time sink, but we know what we're gonna do. I have a pattern written out for this. We're going to start writing basically we're going to start writing queries that we need to do from the perspective of the bookstore, and then we'll write out more instructions as we need them, and go from there. So let's go ahead and save this all out. If any of you have any questions or anything else about sqlx, Rust, or whatever, now's a perfect time before we wind down. Okay, so that's pushed out there, and then you bookstore assessment. So this is added section for seating. Okay, so we have seeding stuff. We copied the data in, so we have actually a location of where the seed information is. We're good to go there. I wonder if I'll be able to use offline mode for the assessments. That would be interesting. That could work. We'll have to play around with that. Okay, so with that all being said and done, Unreal Realities, hello. How are you doing today? Does anyone know anything about the whole license with sqlx and their MS SQL support? They had a post about over a year ago. Any issues with this? Any issues with this? I don't know. Our plans regarding MS SQL. Nice. They're collaborating with CORM. Okay, so they're putting under GNU a Faro General Public License. Now I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not great at like parsing through the licenses and what that really means. Okay, so basically it can be kept open source, but that doesn't mean free to use. And if you contribute to us, you don't get credit. I mean, you can get credit for it, but you don't own that anymore. And you have to be like explicit about you no longer owning that because of reasons. And they may charge for it. $99, €99 a year. And no timeline. So, okay, that was their plan. And then there's a lot of discussion about this, which we don't have time to go into right now. No, yeah, no idea about this. Now, I've never used MS SQL, so I'm a really bad like I don't have any skin in that game. So, I think it's one of those things where it feels like this is still it's a slow ongoing conversation it looks like. So if you do need it, I would recommend posting here and asking for status updates. But besides that, yeah, I have no idea. It looks like it's going to be a paid for add-on eventually once they have it. Absolutely, yeah. I'm glad to like look over it, even though like again, this is one of those things where like I'm not great at that. Maybe somebody else like if you have more information, then please add it into the comments or send it in Discord or something else. That way we can all learn and improve. All right. So let's see. Who's streaming right now? Let's see. Of people I'm following. Oh, weird. Okay, so it's oh that took a long time for it to reload. Let's see. CM Griffin is doing Elixir. He's been building a feature flagging system for like all sorts of different languages. So he's on to Elixir right now. I've never used Elixir before. So we could definitely raid them or raid him. Let's see. He's the only one I'm following right now. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and set up a raid for CM Griffin. Where's my raid button? Do that. Start the raid. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me this afternoon. I will be back tomorrow morning for to continue on with this assessment. I will not be streaming tomorrow afternoon, but the rest of the week there'll be the morning and the afternoon streams. So, anyways, I hope that you all have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow morning. All right, have a good one. Bye.